And we should be live. Full minute ahead. Looking at Zach's counter. But yeah, I am getting better at starting this one on time. Hopefully get to the point where it's exactly 1:00 p.m. But what can you do when you're a rock star? Yeah, no, you can't fit perfectly. There is so much things going on, and then if you try to catch them all, arrange them perfectly, it's never perfect. But yeah, what a week, right? Another week in books. We had quite some fun on Bitcoin Twitter. Yeah, looking at my feed. But through all of it, we have a new release of BTCPayServer 1.66 with some small bug fixes and new features. And you can see all the releases, and this one was standard Nicholas release. It's like release 1.66, then immediately 1.67. It's like small bug fix. But yeah, that's how rockstars do. And all these new releases will now go in Bitcoin Optech newsletter, actually. So that's great to see. Yeah, Mikey says BTCPayServer, look at this. And yeah, Bitcoin Optech has interesting summary of everything that's happening in Bitcoin. It's not as great as my summary, obviously. Yeah, but yeah, they don't have rock stars. Can't make it as entertaining. But you know, for people that want to keep it professional, everything like this is the way, right? So yeah, there's that. There's that BTCPayServer. And then see, now we have BTCPayServer. Probably Pavlonex retweeting me, which is freaking awesome. I don't need to remember to start all these streams everywhere. But speaking of that, yeah, this needs to go into our Telegram group where I usually hang out. Do I even have it here? Yeah, t.me. You click that, you go view in Telegram, and you will be in that group. So I can paste that there, have it open on another monitor. So yeah, there is that. Bitcoin. Google is still blocking Bitcoin in various ways, including us as a BTCPayServer as a project. And yeah, they're not just doing this to us, they're doing it to so much power to various other people and projects. Deceptive site ahead. What made me laugh recently is like Google Cloud now has some kind of terrible detection of, like, if you're running Bitcoin D on Google Cloud, they detect it as a cryptocurrency mining. And then email you like, oh, you're having malware running on your cloud, which is really funny. I mean, but what can you do? Growing pains till this becomes better. So we will see what happens with this when these windows, when you install when these screens, when you install BTCPayServer, like when they will stop appearing, hopefully soon. We actually kind of made some progress on that, figuring it out, but we'll keep you all updated. Yeah. And then drama about white paper. Yeah. Previous week with like, should white paper be removed from bitcoincore.org or no? One thing that I tweeted out is like, I personally am in great position for this kind of stuff, well set up. But if you are open source developer who is not well set up, like, first of all, I encourage you to be public, like whatever. If you're having problems because people in Bitcoin are so awesome, you will get help. But if you don't get help, like, I'm there, so that we take care of these clowns. I mean, it will happen eventually. but not to spend too much time on that. One thing that I want to spend more time on these streams is memes, but I prepare for the episode, so many things to prepare and get notes in order that it seems memes, somebody else will need to do them. Like Bitcoin Magazine started doing memes. They're pretty good. Like, yeah, have a permit. And Gigi was joking that he's going to start sending memes with Uncle Gigi. So I would actually watch that one if he starts doing that. I just hope it's not 1 p.m. CET, because then I'll need to retire or yeah, move the slot. But we'll, yeah, let's see if Gigi does it, because because yeah, he has a really nice stash of memes. Like, I have a pretty great stash, but who knows, maybe we can organize a little competition between us. Spread the joy. And the last thing, yeah, for Bitcoin Magazine, the last thing I want to mention in intro, they should announce if conference is happening by the end of January, right? So we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, that's that. Some of the things that happened last week. And when it comes to coding last week, one thing that I am doing, I don't know if you're aware of it, is like every cast I do, I do a wrap up thread where I link everything, you know, that happened in the video. So this is for the last week, like overview of everything we went through. Reviewing PRs, I really love that segment. Then this yeah happened. I don't know if you were present, but let's stick to coding for now. Yeah, and mentions in the stream. So if you miss, you know, stream, or you don't want to watch 60-minute video, just look for one of these threads, because you can search Rockstar Dev, and then you say Sunday reference. But what I'll start Sunday coding. What I'll start doing is I'll go Sunday coding with Uncle Rockstar, and then it will be threads like this, where we wrap up, yeah, like notes, and then you can save some time on like what's in the video, or you can jump to certain moments in the video. So we'll start doing that. But yeah, last week where we stopped with pull request. That's actually still not merged. So we're going to go through pull request, resolve it, and merge it. Most important thing is, yeah, everybody loved the error pages with Miles. Miles loving this. Square Crypto jumping in as usual, but yeah, do encourage him. Miles will save us all, because if you know Miles personally, yeah, that guy, he will save us all. You will see. But yeah, let's start coding a little bit, right? Let's see what we have here. Bottlenecks is honored. Go. Yeah, that is like on 503. But I don't know. I don't have anything to add here. I just go resolve conversation. Done. And yeah, here we get to one thing that's great when you're working on open source, because people can jump in. And our man jumped in. Umar, front-end developer with love for design. So yeah, he has, like, it's misspelled. Come on, you need to fix this. So yeah, let's do that. Let's start fixing stuff, because it is Sunday coding. We need to code a little bit, right? So this is 417 expectation. So one thing I do control comma 417, and we find x, yeah. So because we're too lazy, we just copy paste. Say okay, let's go next one. Pavelnik is misspelled as Pavelnik. So yeah, Russian. There we go. And yeah, misspelled as lightning, but this is because of lightning, man. You know, I'm doing too much lightning coding, so it's like lightning. Yeah, well, let's go. This is line 23, lightning, and Pavelnik's lightning. So we fix that. Extra else. Come on, it's like unfortunately. So this is 502. 502. Nah, too fast. Where is unfortunately? Yes, here. It's long L, much sexier that way instead of just one L. And go here twice. Yeah, this is the thing for me. I don't know, all the helper classes they're like adding to Bootstrap and stuff, but that's why we have front-end developers, right? They know all this stuff. So this is 502, this is 502, so it goes here, all the styles. Well, let's see if it works with class. We'll do it like this. Oh, but we already have class. So we can remove call head, deflex. There we go. This is 502, right? So we'll see on 502 if it works properly. And include it twice. Yeah, this is the problem on every page. We'll actually get to this. So, so yeah, let's see our changes. Let's see our fixes. And let's see comments. Grammar Police live stream. Definitely. Let's see if Umar is also online watching. If Umar is not watching, maybe we can ping him. Let's go. Where is Umar? Then what is his Twitter? Is it linked here? Nah. Let's go. I need to find him on Twitter. I always find him with like, what is? Look at how you find Umar. You always go to Mike. There is always Umar. There we go. And you say Sunday coding with Uncle Rockstar Dom. I'm now thinking if I should also make a grammar mistake. So like grammar police. There we go. So yeah, we can go. Where is the jump on the stream? Jump on the stream. Yeah. So yeah, comments are good. Things are going. So let's get back to the commit, right? Let's see things we've changed. We get everything staged and we say fixing now there we go, fixing typos and grammar. One thing that's good that I always like think about, when you're authoring commit, but there is also like co-author of git commit. You can do this thing. It's like co-authored by. Then you just need to find what you're using for, like who is the other person also helping with the commit. And the way I do that, I go in history and we say find, there we go, copy, and now Control-1 to switch in, and there we go. So now this commit will have two authors, which is kind of cool. So if we push that to GitHub, yeah, we now can see how that is presented. It's a pretty cool little trick. Always loved it. And now the pipeline is starting, and this is, but what I do now, I usually resolve all the comments that were resolved, and just because I'm going to rebase this, let me first do that, because if I now catch this commit hash, then and I use it to resolve, then it will be lost on rebase, because it's like 089. When I rebase, it will become, let's see what it will become, 1627 CO5. There we go. But yeah, I do this a lot lately. Just like rebasing stuff, fixing PRs. But thankfully we had our reviewer Umar this time. So we copy that hash and then we go wild. Resolved. Oh, so actually I didn't test this one. Does this work? Need to see that. So let's go. What is error code? 502. Yeah, kinda. It should be working. It's like flex, no difference from pages on which we didn't do this. Let's look in those beautiful eyes. More. Zoom. No, it's crazy. It should be illegal for developers to be this, you know, photogenic. Like, is that the word? Looking good on photos. Seriously, like, it's not fair. You know, we're in world of distribution. Everything should be decentralized. No, like, unfair. Nicholas should distribute his beauty. But yeah, so that one is working. So we're good to resolve it. Let's go a few more. Perfect time for my mouse to stop working. Fun. Seriously? Can't believe this. My mouse stopped working in the middle of the stream. See? They say being Rockstar developer is easy. You know, your mouse stops in the middle of the stream, but you have another mouse. This one's just a little bit faster. DPI, lower DPI. It's almost as if I'm not a programmer, but like a gamer. Pretty funny. This one has a little bit noisier scroll wheel, so sorry about that. I hope you won't hear it, but what can we do? I'll get to the Rockstar level of having two mouses with quiet scroll wheel. So yeah, getting to the stuff we were doing. Getting back to the stuff we were doing. Where is the, let's go here, GitHub pull requests. new error pages, rebased. Let's see where we were at. Okay, here. So we keep going. This was resolved. Let's see, frightening. I'll never forget this one. Go. Resolve, all resolved. So some things are failing. Let's see. Hash some mismatch. Fun times. I always love when pipeline fails because some dependency fail. I guess let's wait for the rest of the pipeline to finish, and then maybe we can restart these to see if that will solve the problem. But yeah, we got it here. We have finished with getting PR to the mergeable state, and from here it's just merging that. While we are waiting on pipeline to finish, we can apply this class thing on actually all the pages, because one of the things in programming, like I would say the most important thing in programming is to work towards, when you're working as a programmer, like you should work towards reducing or eliminating duplication. And ideally, like if something is conceptually the same, like we have here, like what is 5 pages, they should all they should all, like all the common parts should be extracted, not repeated like they're here. And that's the thing in programming, like everything that's conceptually one should be coded and extracted as one. And I think that's like when you're growing as a developer, first thing that you start doing, like I would say, like level 1 of good programmer is seeing the code as kind of like Legos, starting to code Legos, and then those Legos you can reuse and start building bigger forts out of them. So what's interesting though is even like when you get to the point where you're building like well encapsulated Legos, then you really level up as a programmer. And what's interesting, what I find interesting is that like a lot of developers don't even get that far, but they're like still good developers usually, because they just don't conceptually separate things well. But they could be, say, really prolific at building stuff, so they don't build Legos, but they build systems that still function well, and then you just don't want to maintain them, but they're like still big systems. And I would say from Legos, another level up is when you see that it's not just you can build Legos, you can build contexts, and that's where you can really start shining, because building contexts is hard, because the Legos that you build only work in certain context. And what I'm seeing recently, especially with advent of microservices and stuff like that, is dependency injection. Yeah, like there is just zero context, and like a lot of people go with that as a cheat code. Like you build classes that work without context, absolutely, but then you have tons of repetition, and it's one extreme approach that I think is growing in popularity, because if you don't have context, you can just build classes that work anywhere. And it's kind of funny. Like I personally, I'm telling you, when you build powerful contexts, you can like save so much time and effort and coding hours. But yeah, building context is hard. So how do you apply those concepts to building UI? Well, you apply them by like layouts are actually your contexts. And when talking about UI, so all these pages, they require like a layout of their own, like a context, as I say. So let's say this is layout error. And now you can say, okay, let's go 404. You take a look at all these files and you identify what is the same in all of these files. And if we copy this, let's go 404. So this is like layout error. We can say these two parts are always the same. Title is already extracted as a variable. So you can say, yeah, I was like, I want to delete P, but let's leave P, and we just say whatever is the body of the view, render it here. You can like autocomplete, control space. So yeah, so now if we say this 404 page, say it's a layout is layout error, we can delete all of this. Wait, finish the line. We don't need this, and you don't need all this. So now this page just has what's specific to this page, and this is where we need to know how to build context, because yeah, you can say, okay, maybe I want also this to be a variable, like I don't want to repeat this. But for contexts, you can always like do not optimize them too much, like premature optimization, root of all evil. So you leave it like this, and let's do another page. Let's say, okay, we can now copy, and we delete all of this. And now we have two pages. So let's see how those two pages work, because here is the power of context. Like you've replaced all those lines with just like this, and that's a great thing. So, and there we go. We also have Umar in comments now. He is correcting me on the concepts like dry, don't repeat yourself. And Britt Kelly is funny. She's like, try cleaning mouse ball. Yeah, Britt, we're too old. I don't know how many people will get the joke. Yeah, it's a question. How many people did even use mouse with a good ball? What was that, like more than 20 years ago? So yeah, let's go error, and we said we did 404, and now 404 is not working. Why it's not working? Because yeah, we broke the chain context, because this layout should actually inherit from, what is the layout simple. So let's get @ as well. So if we save it like that, now we have the context chain, and that's working. 417 working, as if it's like a page that didn't get fixed with my Vin Diesel thing. Vin Diesel lookalike. Now let's see if there are any comments so far. Nice. Yeah, Jonathan. So I need to get to the page for Jack. That one will be quite funny. But yeah, let's because yeah, we need to get to the building page for Jack. Let's fix all these other pages. We remove this. We remove this. Unifying UI. This is what I, as a unifier, often do. Identify duplications. and then remove them. And then a duplication pops up and says, no, I'm not a duplication, I'm a conceptually different thing. And then all the hell breaks loose. Yeah, that's another pattern that you as a programmer start seeing everywhere. Being a programmer, yeah, really messes up with your head. So yeah, now we have all the pages unified, and we can say Control-Shift-C, you know, like stage all, that's the thing. And we say extracting common layout for error pages. I was thinking to give Umar a credit with dry, but no. What's Umar saying? Drinking my morning tea. Man, morning at 11 a.m. There we go. Now everybody will want to get into programming so they can wake up at 11 a.m. But yeah, all our pages should now work. Reuse code. Yes, Eski. Reuse code wherever possible. Because now, yeah, if we're making a page for Jack, we can do it way easier. And let's say HTTP error codes. For HTTP error codes, like actually I already spoken like what the error code for Jack should be, and Nicholas actually selected the one which is like not acceptable because Twitter lately has so many things that are not acceptable. So we are going to give Jack 406. So yeah, let's do it like 406, and we say 406 not acceptable. Yeah, and we need to get image of our dear Jack. Let's go with copy, and let's get it into codebase repository. This will be really funny. Like I'm telling you, I love the stuff I do in my work. Like, this is not even work. This is like trolling. Trolling. What are you doing? I'm trolling. That's my day job. And we can say here Jack 406. Do I have multiple 406 multiple 4? Okay, we need to 406 Jack. There we go. And what to write here? Let's see if there are any comments. Rasputin Jack. What to write there? Let's see if there are any comments on how to pack this as a joke on not acceptable. Maybe I should do it on my own. Yeah, because one thing that I did get is that I prepared is that famous like where it is like Twitter fact check memes. See, the earth theology experts. This one is also pretty good. So I actually extracted this style. Let me just get it up. Yeah, here it is. BTCPayServer. So yeah, this should be the style, and I already have this. Jack invites you to learn how Bitcoin fixes this. Telling you like, this needs to be trademarked. Bitcoin fixes this because Bitcoin fixes everything. So yeah, so let's say text here should be something like, sorry, but our server can't service you. It's not acceptable. Yeah, this will work. So find a new server. Yes, build a new server if you don't like it. And what shall we say? Jack guiding you on what's acceptable, and can say we can delete this version. We say Bitcoin fixes this trademark. Yes, and where Miles goes through gateway, disappears. And because this is image, we can leave it like this. Yes, and this should work. So it's like 406 not acceptable. Given to Jack. Perfect. We just need to add it here. Special pages, yes, it's error controller, handler. We have generic handler for all the other status codes, so that's good. And now let's see how it works. Let's go. Rasputin Jack. No, that beard is impressive. That beard is impressive. We'll see. We can ask our man Jack which profile picture he prefers, but for now we're just going whatever is on Twitter. So yeah, I got this prepared so that it links to that great announcement when Mike said, yeah, last my hack week project, and then Mike said pay people to make the broader crypto ecosystem better. Crypto. It's like Bitcoin. There, yeah, Bitcoin ecosystem. But yeah, this was quite a great announcement, and then later BTCPayServer gets in as a first project that supported, which was awesome. Yeah. Now you can see who I muted. Let's see who is this. Mike in space. Yeah, that's a good mute. That's a good mute. But yeah, there's that. Now our man Jack has his error page. We had that as well. Should we open a new PR or no? No, let's get Pavlex, Miles, and Jack together. We say new HTTP error page 406 for our dear man Jack. Not acceptable. Yes, acceptable. Build systems where all things are acceptable. That would be quite a context. Yeah. That can handle everything. But yeah, that's why you get into programming. You get more talent. We help out people like a Jack who tried to build systems, then yeah, Twitter morphs into something else. But what can you do other than just you keep marching on? That's the only thing. You don't get lost into in the Twitter threads with NVK always advertising meat or Seth Rogen loves Ted Cruz. What you do instead, yeah, you see how can that be tweaked. There should be. Oh, they're not giving it. anymore, because one thing that's great here is you can like explore locations. You just go Afghanistan. There we go. And now Afghanistan trends. Those are my trends. That's what you should do. And then you can stay focused on coding. So that's pushed. That's pushed. We're actually, yeah, 43 minutes in. We finished a lot. Finished a lot. Built the page for Jack. Let's see if there are any PR comments, because people now know. See, this one will hopefully build well, because yeah, previous build that failed was temporary pipeline glitch. But I guess that's it for UI building. We can maybe switch to Bitcoin D API. But before, yeah, we switch to Bitcoin D API. Maybe we can. One thing that's coming up that I wanted to say, like that Clubhouse meet we did last week was great. It was like phenomenal. Thanks to everybody from this list for participating. And actually, yeah, as Des said, we had our man Keegan playing a little bit with Lightning Polar, which is really great tool for experimenting. Jamal built it because it's like what we do in BTCPayServer with bringing up your environment. Like I'm telling you, when Nicholas did this initially, I was like, wow. And then now I'm seeing this pattern like everywhere in all the projects, because you can now add containers like LND containers to the stack. But obviously, yeah, you need to write this Docker compose file and all the details. And what Jamal did is, if you download this now for Windows, like you can add the LND instances. I'm curious if I can get it up, but too much. I don't have enough time. Only 15 minutes left. But you install Polar, and then yeah, let's see. It's here, and is there like any narrative? Like I can narrate, because see, you're making a test network. Oh, too fast, too fast. Making network, you say 2 LND nodes, 1 C Lightning node, and 1 Bitcoin D node. So then you create, see, they're all connected to Bitcoin D node. Super fast. And then you start that. And when you now start it, let me turn off the, oh no, music is kind of chilly. Chill. Let's chill. So now, yeah, you have all this info on how to connect to those LND nodes running locally. And for Bitcoin D, you can like mine blocks. Let's see, you should also, okay, connect. See, this is where you can use your Postman. And you have different connection strings on how to connect to the node, but you say, yeah, okay, I'm deposit here, Bitcoin D, man, this is so fast. This is like roast beef. I need to narrate like roast beef. And now you're connecting them. Yeah, opening channel, moving around. You want another channel. There we go, open channel. I'm getting hang of it. So it is a great UI tool, as you can see. And now I'm curious, yeah, versions, turn off versions. You can update LND nodes. You can drag new ones and quick mine, yeah. So you can confirm the channels, everything else. Now I'm wondering if there will be invoice. Yes, I want a LN invoice, and I want to pay the invoice. Boom, now payment went through here all the way here. So channels are now updated. And yeah, closing channels. Really great tool for experimentation. So take a look at it. What I will be showing in 10 minutes that we have left here is how to do that in BTCPayServer, obviously through command line, yeah, not through UI. But if you're more of a UI person, you start doing this. And now going back, yeah, this was great at Keegan. After we had that Clubhouse meet, he jumped right into it and started using this this tool. So I can retweet that for you to follow the thread, because actually Des will likely organize another Clubhouse meet for devs, so you need to follow her. Like, don't ever block her, always follow. Click. And yeah, she tweets a lot because she's helping with building Lightning, and then in gaming there are like always great links. So yeah, there's that. She will announce, yeah, if we're doing any Clubhouse meet, so follow this. And yeah, for that's that for Clubhouse. 10 minutes left. Let's see if there are any questions so far. If not, yeah, you can use Polar to test BTCPayServer Lightning invoices. But what you can also do is use the scripts we have here. So if we go to BTCPayServer, I don't think I have any store. You create a new store and you say this is test store, and you set up a wallet. Say it's new existing seed. We want a hot wallet, so we can do some interesting stuff with it. And now store is set up. Lightning, yeah, I didn't set up Lightning, but it doesn't matter. Okay, $10 new invoice. And now we check out. One of the things that like people often ask like how I can now test this, like how I can pay. This is where that tool like Polar will come in handy. Only for Lightning, and you must connect those LND nodes to this specific node that we have. But for paying on-chain, this is where you can jump in and utilize this scripts that Nicholas did. So today I'm gonna use PowerShell just to trigger all the Bash people. Previously I was using Bash. Now this episode I'm gonna use PowerShell because my Bash is kind of flaky on these specific scripts, and I never get time to debug them. So the way this works is you want to do Docker Bitcoin CLI, which essentially this is a shortcut for hitting Bitcoin D and its CLI within the container. So the first thing you need to do obviously is you need to know what you can do, like what is a Bitcoin D API and what stuff, like how do you access that through CLI, like command line interface. I would say 3 commands here are the most important. Like number 1 command, obviously when you're starting regtest, so like local network environment with Bitcoin, you need to know how to mine, because yeah, you need to fund that local instance, and it's like generate where it is, because here in BTCPayServer we have this shortcut of Docker Bitcoin generate that hits the CLI and uses this method, which is like generate to address, like you're mining some new block and all the Coinbase rewards goes to certain address. If you don't specify address, like I think now it automatically generates. So where's generate to address here? This is quite interesting. It's not in here. But the thing is, the thing is, yeah, let's do it. We say not CLI, but we say generate, and we say we want to generate 10 blocks. So now if we take a look at how many Bitcoin we have on our Bitcoin D instance, because it's like mining the blocks and Coinbase reward to itself, you have another method which is like get balance, but we want to use Docker Bitcoin CLI, and we say get balance. So our balance is 550. Why? Because by default, what happens is that BTCPayServer is, when it starts, it mines 101 block. So after, there is also the thing with Coinbase reward not being available right away, which is why you get 101 block mined. But so we have 101, then 10 more blocks, block reward 50 Bitcoins. It's like 11 blocks, 550 Bitcoins. So now whenever you mine one more block, it should increase by 50. So yeah. And the thing is, this reward is actually like all those blocks 100 blocks ago. Like they're just maturing, and you're then getting that Bitcoin actually available. So should keep that in mind. And now that we have all this, like we have our Bitcoin D instance funded, we can then say use another method from here, which is like send to address. There we go. So you go Bitcoin address and amount. So we go here, we say, okay, this is the address, and the amount is, let's start typing it. So it's send to address. We're sending to this address, and we want to send this much Bitcoin. So we go bam. And this is obvious, yeah, transaction ID. And that invoice is paid. So this is how you can test, like also test locally with your BTCPayServer, like how invoice is paid, and also start to get some experience with Bitcoin D API. And yeah, now if we go to wallets, what's great with this wallet now that, like, yeah, it's a hot wallet. So if you want to further test, like you brought up that polar environment and you want to fund, but yeah, you can't fund it because it's like you would need to tie those LND nodes to this specific Bitcoin D. It's kind of interesting. Like, can that be done? Because yeah, if you don't, then you have two Bitcoin D nodes and they're not in consensus. Like each is separate regtest network. But yeah, for more testing, like let's say you have another store and you want to pay, now you can do here. Plus, the thing is, yeah, because this receive, you can generate receive address like this, and then you say, okay, I want to send to address. That address, I want to send 5 Bitcoin. I'm rich, yeah. Rich in regtest, but you can see that this is a little bit like grayed out, and that's because obviously these transactions are not confirmed. So what you need to do is you need to essentially mine one block in order to confirm these transactions. So the way that you do that obviously is you say, yeah, generate one block. And now that you've generated a block, these transactions have been confirmed. They're now, yeah, full color, so you know kind of how to interact with Bitcoin D in like your local Bitcoin D instance. And if you start doing some digging, you can see the exact commands we are sending and how we are sending them. You know, it's like Docker exit, because you are interacting with this specific container. So yeah, so if you do this instead, because first line is getting the ID of the container, the second line is executing. So you could be doing docker exec it, and then container ID is 42e1, and then you need to say data there equals data, and then the command itself, which is like get balance. Oh no, I need Bitcoin CLI because this is the docker exec parameters, container ID, and then it's like what are you actually hitting in the container, and you're hitting Bitcoin CLI executable. So executable, or there we go. So now it will work. Or you do send to address, or you do whatever method we have here. So that's that. And I would say we can close it here, because now I'm thinking if I should get into similar thing for L&D, but kind of curious, especially if people start playing with Polar because it's wrapped up. So let's see what's the reaction, what is the feedback, and depending on that I can maybe do a similar thing, because theoretically it's the same thing. As I said, you just get the container ID and you get what executable you're hitting, and that's it. You just pass the parameters in. So, but for me this was really helpful when I was getting started with Bitcoin development, because it's like, how do you get your node up and running? How do you get L&D up and running? And with everything containerized like this now, you can have as many L&D instances as you want. So that's great. So I'll close it with that. Actually, it wouldn't be a Sunday coding with Uncle Rockstar if our Mattermost didn't make appearance. So I will say, when I close the episode, what you should be doing all, like, come to chat.btcpayserver.org, and you can chat with the team. You can give me feedback on how the episode was, and we have fun together. We listen to Nicholas and his podcasts with his growing profile. Hopefully, he'll start going to more podcasts, not playing Counter-Strike. Where is that tweet? Like, I think where is twitter.com. That's the meme. Bitcoin with CSGO. 20 years, So as I'm saying, join chat.btcpayserver.org, and let's wrap up episode there. That's it for this week, for this Sunday. I'll see you next Sunday, and we'll do more coding and more Bitcoin development. That's it. Have fun. See you next Sunday, 1 p.m.